That was not what I was expecting to see in the Nintendo Direct this morning. Tears of the Kingdom just released last year, and we are already getting a brand new Zelda game. And it's a 2D game with the style of the Link's Awakening remaster. And the craziest part, we play as Zelda. It's something that I never thought I would see. So here's my breakdown and thoughts on the new game. At the start of the teaser, we see Link in a room fighting Ganon. They make it look like a cutscene, but all the cool jumps, combat, and the barrier blocking Link from escaping makes me think otherwise. This scene will most likely be you playing as Link at the very start of the game. Once Link beats Ganon, Ganon's staff sinks into the ground, creating a rift. Link sinks through it himself, lost in the abyss, but shoots Zelda's crystal and frees her. Zelda escapes, and we see a scene that mirrors the Breath of the Wild intro. This game has shown that the player is in control of Zelda, but I actually get the feeling this isn't 100% true. I think that Link might also be playable later in the game, like he was at the start. This would make it so you can play both characters. I'll get to why I think this in a bit. We can see rifts all over Hyrule causing disturbances in everyday life. In the next scene, we can see Zelda in a cell. I'm not sure why she's there, but this is where she meets the fairy Tri, and gains her wand. This must take place near the start of the game, because the majority of clips she has her fairy. I'm guessing in between her journey from the intro into the land of Hyrule, she is captured by someone and placed there. I'm not going to go over all the obvious things from here on out because you can see that for yourself in the trailer. Instead, I'm going to point out some hidden details that I saw were noticed online and some of my own observations. I've already seen mixed views on this game so far, and there are people who love it and are happy to be in the 2D format again, and there are also people who are worried of the new echo mechanic because it can allow too much freedom in puzzles. It may ultimately let you skip puzzles, which defeats the whole purpose of using that Zelda brain of yours to figure something out. However, when Zelda uses the echo ability, you can see that a triangle from the fairy leaves the fairy and joins the object that echo was used on. I can see this as being a way to restrict too much freedom with the echo ability because it implies that when the fairy is out of triangles, you can't use the ability anymore. On the left of the screen, you can see the D-pad, and one of those buttons shows the echo ability. However, the rest of the abilities are not shown. This shows that Zelda will have more abilities as the game progresses, and we have only been shown the very start of the game. There is also a mini-map down in the very right corner, and Gerudo is featured in this trailer for a split second, along with 2 types of Zoras. One thing I've noticed is when you create echoes of monsters, it uses 2 triangles instead of 1. When doing objects, it only uses 1. I also think Zelda will have more options to combat later in the game, because throwing rocks around doesn't seem efficient, and Zelda is also using a cannon later. Maybe it's another one of her abilities. We'll also be able to explore underwater in this game, which is so nice because we missed out on that in the Wilds era, and it's nice to see it back. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, there are lots of similarities between this and that, along with lots of other Zelda games. For instance, when fighting with the cannon, there are bokoblins in a camp surrounding a chest. You probably have to beat all the bokoblins to unlock the chest, just like in Breath of the Wild. Zelda also has her own paraglider when crossing a stream of lava, probably near Death Mountain. I didn't catch this at first, but we can see Impa beating up some guards. This also brings up the question, why is she fighting them? I honestly have no idea, but maybe the solution to why Zelda was imprisoned in one clip was because the guards arrested her, and maybe she was framed for releasing the magic voids around Hyrule. The moment after the intro, you can see 2 guards approach Zelda, and this could be when she goes into a cell, but then the guards also bow at her, so it doesn't fully make sense. In this next shot, we can see a Deku flower. This is actually great timing for me because I'm currently playing Majora's Mask, and that's the game they are present in. The Deku tree is also in this new game, which is a cool touch to Ocarina of Time. Now, for my final point of why Link may be playable even later in the game. In one of these scenes, we can see Zelda in a void-like place, just like the one where Link fell into. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that could just be the endgame where Zelda rescues Link, just like Link does to Zelda in every game. But here's why I don't think that. On the D-pad, the only power shown is still just the wand. Zelda also only has 3 heart containers. Usually, as the game progresses in the endgame, you'd have more heart containers and more abilities. This would be in the start of the game, so it could be true that they cropped out the other powers just so they wouldn't spoil it, but I have a feeling they aren't showing some major things. It's just like when the Sky Islands were greatly advertised in Tears of the Kingdom, but in the end result, we had a whole underground depths that was a bigger part than the sky. Maybe Link is playable in this game. Anyways, I'm very excited for this new Zelda game. I didn't expect any new games like this coming anytime soon, but I'll gladly take this. Let me know in the comments on what your theories are for this game, and are you planning on playing it. Thanks all, and have a great day.